'Cause you're the tip to my top, the key to my lock, you're my breakfast in the morning. You're my up to my down and the king of my crown, and you're everything I want. You got that sweet, sweet, sweet honey, sugar, and I want it sweet, sweet, sweet honey. You got that sweet, sweet, sweet honey, sugar, and I want it sweet, sweet, sweet honey. So give it to me.
Hi everyone, it's John Persinger, CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation, and I'm joined here today by my colleague Nicole Reitzell, who is our VP for Community Engagement and Social Impact. Today we're coming to you for a virtual coffee and conversation, and I thought I'd let Nicole give you the background on why this came about and why we're doing it virtual this year. Nicole?
So the intent of Coffee and Conversations really was to bring anyone from the community in to get their questions answered sort of straight from the horse's mouth. We originally started this, we held 3 a day. We had one first thing in the morning, a lunchtime edition, and then one sort of for anyone who could join us after work. And it was really well attended. We held it outside when the weather permitted, but it was a really good way for people to just come in and ask any questions that they had. It was just an open forum, and it was a great way to meet people in the community.
So we've done over 1,000 surveys at this point?
We've done a lot of surveys in the community. We have a really wonderful community engagement council that ensures that diverse voices are able to be heard when we're talking about revitalization of downtown. We really want to make sure that the community can weigh in on what that looks like.
And through our digital team, we've done a lot of videos behind the scenes, inside buildings, showing everyone the ins and outs, really to be completely transparent about what we're doing. But today we're going to answer some of your questions that you've submitted online. And as always, if you have any questions, you can go to our Facebook page and like it, or you could go to our YouTube channel and like that, or you could submit questions to us via email at our website, which is www.erieddc.org. But why don't we get into some of these questions?
All right, sounds good.
So the first question that we got is one we've gotten multiple times in kind of different forms, and it's basically, what residential units will be offered and when will they be available?
So the residential units will start to become available later this year. So we're really excited to bring those to the market and have people see what they can expect. And there will be really a variety of different units available. So we'll have studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and it will hopefully meet the needs and budgets of a variety of people downtown.
And if someone's interested in getting on a waiting list, who should they contact?
They can contact me if they would like to. They can reach out again to the Facebook page or email me directly at nicole.reitzell@erieddc.org. So you mentioned the waiting list. That was something that we were really surprised to have to create. We've gotten a tremendous amount of interest in the residential units and held several focus groups. And from those, I had several people ask, can I put down a deposit, or how do I ensure that I know as soon as something is available? In fact, we even had someone stop by the cashier's house, knock on the door, and ask if they could rent something. So we have started a waiting list, and really that list of folks will just be the first that we notify when something comes available.
We've got a great question from Flagship City Press, which is, what are your goals for downtown Erie, and what local businesses are you supporting? So the Erie Downtown Development Corporation was formed in 2017 by community leaders to revitalize downtown through property development. We focus on properties. We have 12 projects that are in different stages of development right now. 7 of the 12 are scheduled to be finished summer of 2021 and fall of 2021. 3 of the 12 projects will be completed in mid to late 2022. And then the final 2 projects will be completed in early 2023. When this is all said and done, there will be a total of 477,000 square feet of revitalized space. This will allow for a new 300 space parking garage, more than 140 residential units. There'll be space for 25 different businesses with all new employees and economic opportunities in the downtown core. But at the end of the day, we know that it's more than just these buildings. It's about the people who are down here and the people who are going to come down here. So I'm going to turn it over to Nicole to talk about some of the other things that we work on in and around these buildings. Nicole?
You ask about our overarching goals. They really are pretty simple. We want more people living downtown, more people working downtown, and then more people just enjoying downtown. So, when I think about it, I think if someone is coming for a Seawolves game or to enjoy an Erie Phil concert, I would love for them to be able to know that they're going to spend the majority of their day downtown. There's enough things for them to do and enjoy. We'll be adding some public art so that people have to sort of make downtown more aesthetically pleasing and spruce up the public spaces a little bit. You asked a question about local businesses and how we plan to support those. Honestly, I think the biggest thing we can do to support local businesses is bring more people downtown. And so whether that is people who are living here and supporting the local businesses, or even people who are visiting downtown, I think really creating a destination will support those local businesses. And we would love to work with as many great local businesses as we possibly can, including one like Flagship City Press. So please feel free to reach out to us if you're interested in a storefront or being a part of what we're doing.
We got a question that is a good follow-up to that question from a gentleman by the name of Ryan Johnson. And he asked, are there any plans to partner or incentivize local businesses that may be located outside of downtown Erie to bring them closer to the city center? And I thought that question and the previous question from Flagship City Press was a good opportunity for us to talk about our motto of cultivating an Erie experience. So I was wondering if you could share what we talk about when we say cultivating an Erie experience downtown.
So we do talk a lot about really cultivating an Erie experience downtown. And what does that look like? Well, it's something that we have gotten a lot of input from the community on, but really we want to focus on local businesses so that visitors who come to Erie know this isn't just any town USA, but they are experiencing some of the best that Erie has to offer. They're eating foods that they might not be able to get in any other city. They are visiting shops and stores that they won't see anywhere else. So we want to create a really unique experience that celebrates the diversity of our community and is welcoming to everyone, visitors and locals alike.
Now, we've spoken with over 150 different local businesses and business owners, and we've given them some insight as to how we're different than a traditional landlord. Things like the experience director, things like COVID relief. Do you want to share some of those ways that we partner with businesses more specifically?
So as you mentioned, we have met with over 150 local regional businesses about coming downtown. And we really try to stress to them that it's not a typical landlord-tenant relationship. Our mission as a nonprofit is really to bring people downtown and to drive that traffic, which obviously supports the businesses, but it lends to creating a vibrant downtown, which is what we're working towards. So for us, we really want to partner with our tenants, and an example of that is during COVID. We know that so many restaurants and businesses had to close for a time, and we did a rent abatement program where that they could, because we really want these businesses to not only survive through this pandemic, but to thrive into the future. So that was really important. Another thing that we're doing is we recently, we'll be announcing a newly hired experience director, and his job will really be, again, to cultivate that Erie experience, but to work with both our residential and commercial tenants to bring traffic downtown, coordinate different events so that maybe multiple businesses are doing something on the same night, just to maximize the amount of traffic to their storefront, and even promoting the businesses that move downtown is really important to us. Maybe you've seen some of the videos we've done of the food hall vendors. We hope to do the same thing with other businesses that come down, tell their story, get the community excited about visiting their shops, their storefronts, and it's really a win for everybody the more traffic we can drive downtown.
If there's a local business owner or an entrepreneur who wants to be a part of this downtown revitalization, who should they contact and how do they get in contact with that person?
So while we've talked to a lot of local businesses, we know we haven't reached them all. So if anyone is interested in being a part of what we're doing downtown, please reach out to me. Feel free to shoot me an email. Again, my email address is nicole.reitzell@erieddc.org. So anyone can contact me and we can get together and talk about their business.
We got a question from Amanda via Instagram. What projects are you most excited about in the near future? Do you want to take first stab at this one?
Sure. So the projects we're most excited about, I want to say all of them, and that really isn't a cop-out answer because what I love the most about what's happening downtown is that we are working to make downtown Erie a destination. And so that is not just revitalization of one building or one project, but it's creating a place where people want to come and spend time. If I had to pick just one, I would probably say the food hall and market are really exciting because they're going to be community gathering spaces. But I think overall, just creating that destination, making downtown a place that whether people live in the county or Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, they can come to Erie and know that they're going to have a great time for the entire day.
You answered exactly how I would have answered. It's almost as if someone asked you to pick your favorite child, and some parents may on any given day. I do have a favorite child, but in general, these projects, they all work hand in hand together because we know we need the residential units to support the businesses on the ground floor, and we need the food and beverage businesses to get people to come. We need the retail businesses to keep people here. So what's exciting about this process to me is that we're able to move on so many projects at the same time, and people are really going to see a tremendous difference in such a short time. But I think I would go with you if I had to pick one or two and say the food hall and the market, because there really isn't anything like those two in Erie or in the region. So it's going to be something new. It's going to be something different. It's going to be exciting. We want it to be a regional draw. And could you give us, though, more background on the market? Because we got a question from someone about the market, and they wanted to know, is it a market? Is it a grocery store? What exactly is going on? So could you give us a deeper dive into the market?
So thank you, Bridget, for submitting the question about the market. This is something we are really excited about. The vendors that we're working with are absolutely outstanding. And so we're really excited to create more of a public market experience within the market. So it won't be a typical grocery store where you will go in and have as many choices as you might in a Walmart or Wegmans or something like that. But again, along the lines of creating an Erie experience, it's definitely a place where you can get sponge candy and pepperoni balls and all of those other things that we love here in Erie, Smith's hot dogs. So all of our Erie favorites will certainly be represented. But we will have a butcher and someone there doing fresh produce, which we know has been lacking in downtown for so long. So that's something we're excited about. We'll also have a local distillery on hand selling some of their products. So when people walk in, they will definitely know they're in Erie, and they will be able to get the things they need to make dinner that night or the staple groceries that they need if they're living downtown. But it's also going to be, they know that they're in Erie and enjoying the best that Erie has to offer.
I'm really excited to have all these incredible vendors under one roof, to be selling so many Erie regional products is going to be something that's so unique, and we're so excited about it. But we also get the question, has COVID created any delays with regards to opening the food hall and market? So do you want to talk a little bit more about the timeline for these two projects? So
fortunately, how has COVID impacted what we're doing? Fortunately, we've been able to move along with construction. Construction really hasn't been delayed. The biggest delay that we can really foresee when it comes to opening the food hall and the market is sort of what the community is going to look like. We are prepared to open as soon as August, September timeframe, But if we're still experiencing, high numbers of COVID cases in the community, then it's probably not the best time to open what we hope to be a community gathering space. So we kind of have to take it day by day as far as when we open things, but fortunately, COVID hasn't really impacted our ability to move forward on development. So John, a question I've seen a number of times on social media primarily is around our recent election and how that's going to impact opportunity zones and the funding that is coming, that we know is so important, that's coming to our projects.
That's a great question. This is really challenging work. These buildings are old, they need a lot of work. The financial environment is very challenging, and opportunity zones have played a huge role in helping us attract the additional money that we need to do this work. Right now, we're looking at over $100 million of investment in these 12 properties, and that's just into the work to get them restored and revitalized. We have nearly 200 construction workers that are down here on any given day working on these different projects. It's an incredible economic impact, and we're looking forward to attracting more investment into the community. But to your specific point about opportunity zones, we don't anticipate there being any changes. We don't anticipate any disruption to the program because it had such bipartisan support. There are rural congressmen and senators who were in favor of the legislation. There were urban congressmen and senators who were in favor of the legislation. The two big proponents were Cory Booker, who's a Democrat from New Jersey, the former mayor of Newark, and Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina, who's former county executive. Those two really understand local issues. They understand the challenges that a community like Erie is facing. And so we're fortunate that the legislation had such bipartisan support. And we're excited to hopefully attract more opportunity zone investments to Erie in the next few months. So stay tuned, and we hope to be making announcements about that over the next few months. Thanks for spending the time with us today. But one final question before we go. I know this is always a question that we get. It's asked a lot in different forums, and it is, how can I help? How can the person at home help? So Nicole, you've got, I know, some suggestions for the viewers at home.
Well, I guess the first thing I would say is just thank you. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you for wanting to be a part of what we're doing downtown and wanting to be supportive. So I think probably the most important thing they can do today is just to support the great local businesses that we already have downtown. Get a cup of coffee at Ember and Forge. Visit the Tap House and grab a meal to go. Just really, if one of the most important things that you can do to be supportive, again, is to support those local businesses. And also, if you have additional questions for us, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email, leave your question in the comments, or even send it on Messenger. However you'd like to get it to us. We plan to host more coffee and conversations, hopefully again in person at some point. But for now, this is the forum we're going to have to use, so we'll make the best of it. But please don't hesitate to send your questions over. And another thing that you can do that's always helpful is please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, so that you can really stay up to date on what's going on downtown.
Thanks again for joining us for our first ever virtual coffee and conversations. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.